So good morning, everybody. Welcome back for a T64B gameplay video from the 7th of January, as you can see right there on screen. So not my favorite version of this map whatsoever. Decided that instead of going and just stupidly dying at the A point like always happens on Conquest on this map, I'm going to go up to the north and try and stop them from circling in on the north because, of course, we're fighting against a team of Abrams, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So, you know, I figure that coordinating with the team a little bit of tactics here is, of course, you know, just a wasted opportunity. So, yeah, cool story. So, anyway, let the team know that that's where I'm going. And as you see behind me, I've got a random T-72 who's following me to do the same thing. And that actually worked out nicely. Now, of course, the video title says that our Uber flank almost worked, so you can tell sort of how it's going to go, but you at least don't know exactly what's going to happen. So, as we're slowly trying to scoot north here at maximum 20-mile-per-hour speed, our guys at the cap are actually doing some good work and knocking out a few enemies and taking the capture point right now. So far, so good. And as we arrive up here in the city bit, the most likely place to encounter enemy Abrams all rolling on our spawn, see a Cobra coming by, and I decided to take a pot shot at him because of course I did. Sorry, it's a Huey, not a Cobra. I forgot. So, the autoloader works pretty well in this, and there we go. There's our first customer. Too bad the gun, for whatever reason, did not jump up into position. And we've got a second Abrams. Now, thankfully, the second Abrams didn't shoot me. He shot at our T-72 behind me, which I don't think hurt him very much. So I was able to knock him out, and then the second, well, the original Abrams there, popped smoke and ran behind the house. So I was trying to tell the T-72, go man, go around him, get in position for the smoke. Now he's actually staying here protecting me, which I really appreciate. But I didn't want him to just sit there and wait for the M1, the original Abrams there, to just move around and get a better opportunity to shoot at us. So I'm down a crew member, so I can't use the rooftop commander's position machine gun. So I just fired a blind shot through the smoke to kind of harass the Huey a little bit. Make him hopefully untarget one of our teammates. And we're repaired and we're moving again. Let's chase down this Abrams. So trying to get back to my T-72 squad mate here. And as you will realize here kind of quickly, that Abrams that we hit had his engine smoke, and he popped his engine smoke and he ran backwards as fast as he could and as far as he could. And it's actually kind of funny. I think he realized after his buddy got knocked out there that a T-64B and a T-72 is actually kind of dangerous for him to be facing alone. Autoloaders and turret armor are actually a good thing in this case. So we're trying to chase this guy down here. And you can see that our team has been kind of knocked down a little bit back at the A point, and the enemy team is starting to take the cap away. Basically, the helicopter did a lot of damage, and of course, Abrams and British teams at high tier are also pretty dangerous. Hey, look what I found. It's an Abrams right on top of our T-72, and I'm able to repay the favor of him covering me here. Boy, the T-64B's gun elevation, for whatever reason, just doesn't go quickly. But it raised quickly enough for me to finally finish off that Abrams right there. And we're moving on. Unfortunately, we're basically the only thing left alive on our team. So our flanking maneuver ended up kind of being to no avail, but while we're here, I figure we might as well get as many kills as we can and then see if we can maybe come in from behind them at the A point and maybe take the A point back. So I'm kind of veering off towards the A point here, watching out for enemies coming in up here. And what do I spot? There we go. There's an XM1 coming. Waiting for that beautiful lineup on his driver port. And I get hit by another IPM1 coming in. And unfortunately, that was kind of the end of our Uber flank maneuver there. And I told my random follower, random squad mate there, well, my random accompanying T-72, GG, we did a good job up there. It just, unfortunately just wasn't enough. So of course, as I'm trying to drive back in for the cap here, yeah, that's kind of predictable. Get hit by somebody looking directly into our spawn before I can get 10 feet out of it. I mean, I guess I can give him the credit of he at least isn't directly inside our spawn, but still. He's just looking right into our spawn and shooting people as soon as they appear. Now, I did at least do myself a slight favor with my smoke there from my T-80, because at least my BMP could kind of get a little bit of a head start. And I threw up as much dirt as I possibly could with the cannon on my BMP-2. It would have been really nice to be able to fire a missile at him. But it's historically accurate that you would have to come to a stop to fire it, so I'm not too mad about it. Then there's this guy, who was actually basically trying to drive right in on our spawn, so I was glad I took him out. And a little bit of revenge never hurt either on the guy shooting right down into our spawn. That made me feel slightly better. And I got a scout on this guy down here in the river, and of course, before I can get a shot, he pops out and hits me. The weird thing there, I don't know if you noticed, but at the end, after I was dead, I was able to still steer the missile, which I didn't realize was going to happen until it was too late anyway, but it's something to keep in mind that if you ever get hit like that, you might still be able to make a last-minute adjustment on your missile there. Just something to try to pay attention for. So came back in the T-62 because at this point it was a matter of let's try and salvage whatever kind of RP we can get. And look at that. Actually got a critical hit with my artillery on the guy that I fired arty at down in the river. A little odd. Now the T-62, I like it. I really do enjoy driving it, but man, is it pokey. The terrain obviously is not helping me at all here, but ugh. I was able to get away from the initial dangerous part of our spawn there. I dropped smoke here just kind of to be able to reverse quickly into it, relatively speaking quickly, because it's a T-62, but put the smoke down to kind of draw their attention over to here while I moved away from where the smoke is, and see if I could get some shots in on any of them from the side. So you can see something being marked, and there we go. Managed to pull off an ace kill battle here, despite all other things. Good thing I had somebody left on the team to scout him for me so I could actually see him through the woods there. And now it's a matter of staying undetected, and that worked well right up until that shot went over my head. So now it's just let's see if we can possibly spot something else and maybe get a shot into it before they close in and finish me off in their XM1 spam. So I'm trying to ride right along the edge of the map here as close as I can and move in, see if I can spot anybody up near the A point. There's one getting marked right on top of the cap, so punch my artillery off on him and see if I can move in using the artillery as something to camouflage my approach. And that's when I get hit by an M1 in very good covering position for the cap. Not shooting into our spawn, just in a good spot to defend the capture point. So, with the only thing being left available to me as my ZSU 23-4, I chose not to bother to respawn in that. It's just too slow. And yeah, we suff. We suff alright. But somehow I managed to pull off a positive kill-to-death ratio, which at this point is almost a victory in and of itself when on Conquest on that map against a combined Abrams and British team. So unfortunately, the flanking maneuver didn't work, but GG to Maguda there, who came with me and worked really well with a non-squatted teammate. So after the battle was over, I sent him a message and told him, hey, good game, and I didn't think I'd get a response, but he actually wrote back to me, so that was a happy little moment at the end of this otherwise not terribly pleasant battle. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I look forward to bringing you the T-72 myself very soon. Thank you all very much for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and have a great rest of your day. See you soon for more First Tens, everyone.